Hello and welcome to Clearly English. I'm Emma.
And I'm Alex.
Today's episode is a little different. This is a listening practice session. That means your only job right now is to listen. You don't need to take notes. You don't need to look anything up. You don't need to understand every single word. Just listen. Let the English wash over you. Let your ears relax into the sounds and the rhythm of natural spoken English. And if you hear a word or phrase that you recognize, that's wonderful. And if you miss something, that's completely okay too. Just keep listening, because the more you listen, the more your ear adjusts. And over time, English starts to sound more and more familiar. So find a comfortable position. Maybe you're sitting at home, maybe you're on your commute, maybe you're taking a walk. Whatever you're doing, just relax and listen. Before we begin, if you are enjoying Clearly English, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a new lesson. And when you finish today, leave us a comment and tell us which topic from today's listening practice was most useful for you. We love hearing from you. So, Alex, are you ready to have some natural conversations today?
I'm ready. And I think this kind of practice is so valuable. Just listening to natural English without pressure. It's really relaxing, actually.
It really is, and research shows that listening to a lot of English, even when you don't understand everything, helps your brain build familiarity with the language. Your brain is always learning, even when you think you're just relaxing. So let's start our first topic. We're going to talk about our morning routines. This is something everyone can relate to. We all have mornings, we all have things we do before we start our day, and talking about your morning is one of the most common conversations you can have in English. So Alex, tell me about your morning today. What time did you wake up?
I woke up at 6:30 this morning, which is pretty early for me. I'm not really a morning person, so it takes me a little while to feel awake.
I know that feeling. I actually woke up a little earlier today. I was up at 6, and the first thing I did was make coffee. I can't really function in the morning without coffee.
Same. Coffee is absolutely the first thing. I make a big cup and I just sit quietly for a few minutes before I do anything else. I need that quiet time in the morning to kind of wake up slowly.
That quiet time is so important. I do something similar. I sit with my coffee and I look out the window for a little while. It helps me feel calm before the day gets busy.
Exactly. And then after coffee, I usually take a shower. That's when I start to feel really awake. A hot shower in the morning is everything.
Yes, a shower really does help. I shower in the morning too, and after my shower, I get dressed and then I have breakfast. Do you eat breakfast every morning?
Most mornings, yes. I try to eat something simple, usually toast or eggs, sometimes just a piece of fruit. I'm not a big breakfast person, but I know I need to eat something or I get really hungry by mid-morning.
That happens to me too if I skip breakfast. I get distracted and tired, so I always try to eat something. This morning I had eggs and toast. Very simple, but it kept me going.
Simple is always good in the morning. I don't have the energy to make anything complicated before 8 in the morning.
Definitely not. And then, after breakfast, I usually check my phone, emails, messages, just a quick look to see if anything important came in overnight.
I do the same, and then I leave for work. My commute is about 30 minutes. I take the bus, and I usually use that time to listen to something, a podcast or some music.
That's such a great use of commute time. I drive to work, so I listen to things in the car. It makes the commute feel shorter and more productive.
Absolutely. And by the time I get to work, I feel pretty awake and ready to start the day.
So to recap some of the phrases we used just now, I woke up at 6:30. I'm not a morning person. The first thing I did was make coffee. I need that quiet time. After my shower, I get dressed. I always try to eat something. My commute is about 30 minutes. I usually use that time to listen to something. These are all very natural, very common phrases for talking about your morning. And if you can, go back and repeat some of those sentences out loud. It will help you remember them and use them in your own conversations.
And the morning routine is such a common topic. Someone at work will ask, "What time did you get in?" or "How was your morning?" And now you have natural answers ready.
Exactly. Okay, let's move to our second topic. We're going to talk about work and school. This is something most people spend a big part of their day doing, and being able to talk about work or school naturally is really useful for everyday English conversations. Alex, what does a typical workday look like for you?
So I usually get to work around 8:30. I start by checking my emails and making a list of things I need to do that day. I find that if I don't make a list, I forget things or I waste time trying to figure out what to work on first.
That's really smart. I do something similar. I spend the first 15 or 20 minutes of my day organizing what I need to accomplish. It makes the rest of the day feel much more manageable.
Exactly. And then I usually have my busiest work period in the morning. I find I'm most focused and productive before lunch. After lunch, I can feel a little slower.
Yes, that afternoon tiredness is so real. I try to do my more creative or focused work in the morning too. And after lunch, I save the easier tasks, things like answering emails or attending meetings.
Do you have a lot of meetings?
It depends on the week. Some weeks are very meeting heavy, and I barely have time to do my actual work. Other weeks are quieter, and I can really focus.
I know that feeling. Too many meetings can really break up your concentration. I prefer to have meetings in the afternoon, so my mornings stay free for focused work.
That's a great strategy. And do you take breaks during the day?
I try to. I take a proper lunch break, usually about an hour. I think it's really important to step away from your desk and actually rest for a bit. Otherwise, the afternoon feels very long.
Completely agree. A good lunch break makes such a difference. I usually eat lunch and then go for a short walk. Even just 10 minutes outside helps me reset for the afternoon.
That's a great habit. Fresh air really does help. And then by late afternoon, I'm usually finishing up tasks and preparing for the next day. I finish work around 5 or 5:30.
And how do you feel at the end of a typical workday?
Tired, but usually satisfied, especially if I manage to get everything done on my list. That feeling of finishing everything is really good.
There's nothing quite like crossing everything off your list at the end of the day. So, some useful phrases from that conversation. I usually get to work around 8:30. I start by checking my emails. I find I'm most focused in the morning. Some weeks are very meeting heavy. I take a proper lunch break. I try to step away from my desk. I finish work around 5:30. That feeling of finishing everything is really good. Listen to those phrases again. They're simple, practical, and you can use them in any conversation about work or school.
And these phrases work for school too, like I usually get to class around 8:30. I find I'm most focused in the morning. I take a break at lunch. They all translate.
Absolutely. Whether you work or study, the daily rhythm is very similar. Now let's move to our third topic, food and meals. This is one of my favorite topics because everyone loves to talk about food, and it's one of the most common conversation topics in any language. Alex, let's talk about food. What did you eat today?
So this morning I had toast with peanut butter and a coffee. For lunch, I had a sandwich and some fruit. Nothing too exciting, but it was good.
Simple and satisfying. I had eggs for breakfast, as I mentioned, and for lunch, I had a salad with some chicken. I've been trying to eat a little healthier lately, so I've been having more salads.
Do you enjoy cooking?
I do, actually. I find cooking relaxing after a long day. There's something really satisfying about making a meal from scratch. What about you?
I enjoy cooking, but I don't always have the energy after work. So sometimes I cook, and sometimes I order food or make something really quick and easy.
That's very honest. I think most people are like that. Some nights you have the energy to make something proper. Other nights you just want something fast and easy.
Exactly. On those tired nights, I usually make pasta or eggs, something I can make in 15 minutes without much effort.
Pasta is the perfect quick dinner. What's your favorite thing to cook when you have more time?
I really enjoy making soup. It takes a little longer, but it's so warming and satisfying, especially in the colder months. I make a big pot and it lasts for several days.
Oh, I love soup too. Making a big batch on Sunday and having it through the week is such a good idea. I do that with a few different things: soup, rice, sometimes a big salad. Kind of preparing for the week ahead.
Meal prep. It makes the week so much easier.
It really does. And what about eating out? Do you go to restaurants often?
Not super often, maybe once a week or so. My wife and I like to go out for dinner on Friday nights as a little end-of-week treat. It feels like a nice way to celebrate getting through the week.
That's such a nice tradition. Friday night dinner out sounds lovely. What kind of food do you usually go for?
We like a lot of different things. Italian, Japanese, sometimes just a good burger. We try different places. We like exploring restaurants in our neighborhood.
That's fun. There's always something exciting about trying somewhere new. I like doing that too. Okay, so let's recap some food phrases. I had toast with peanut butter. I've been trying to eat a little healthier. I find cooking relaxing. I don't always have the energy after work. On those tired nights, I usually make pasta or eggs. I make a big pot and it lasts several days. We go out for dinner on Friday nights as a little end-of-week treat. We like exploring restaurants in our neighborhood. All very natural, conversational food phrases.
And food is such a great conversation topic because everyone can relate. Everyone eats. Everyone has opinions about food. It's an easy way to connect with people.
It really is a great conversation starter. Now let's move to our fourth topic: weekend plans. This is another very common topic, especially on Fridays at work or school when people ask, "What are you doing this weekend?" Alex, what are your plans for the coming weekend?
This weekend is pretty relaxed, actually. On Saturday, I'm planning to sleep in. I've had a busy week, so I'm really looking forward to just staying in bed a little longer than usual.
That sounds wonderful. There's nothing like a lazy Saturday morning when you've earned it.
Exactly. And then in the afternoon, I think I'll do a few things around the house. Some cleaning and laundry. Not exciting, but it needs to be done.
The weekend chores, very relatable. I have some of those planned too. Saturday afternoon, I'm going to clean the kitchen properly. It needs a good clean.
And then Saturday evening, I'm thinking of watching a movie. My wife and I like to have a movie night on weekends. We make popcorn and just relax on the couch. It's one of our favorite things.
That sounds really cozy. I love a good movie night. What kind of movies do you like?
We like all kinds, actually. Comedies, dramas, sometimes a thriller. We take turns choosing, so it's always a little surprise what we end up watching.
That's a fun system. No arguments about what to watch.
Exactly. Well, sometimes there are mild negotiations, but mostly it works.
And Sunday, do you have any plans?
Sunday, I want to go for a long walk. The weather is supposed to be nice, and I love being outside when it's sunny. And then in the evening, I'll probably do a little meal prep for the week. Make some food so the week is easier.
That sounds like a really well-balanced weekend. Some rest, some errands, some fun, and some preparation. What about you, Emma? What are you doing this weekend?
Yes, what are your plans?
Well, on Saturday, I'm meeting a friend for brunch. We've been trying to get together for a while, and we finally found a time that works. I'm really looking forward to it. We always have such great conversations.
Oh, that's nice. Where are you going?
This little cafe not far from where I live. They do a really lovely brunch menu. I'm thinking Eggs Benedict or maybe a smoothie bowl. I haven't decided yet.
Both sound amazing. And then after brunch?
After brunch, I'll probably do some grocery shopping and a few errands. And then Sunday, I want to have a really quiet day. Maybe read, maybe go for a walk, just recharge before the week starts again.
That sounds perfect. A social Saturday and a quiet Sunday. Good balance.
Exactly the balance I need. Okay, weekend plan phrases to remember. I'm planning to sleep in. I've had a busy week. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll do a few things around the house. We like to have a movie night on weekends. The weather is supposed to be nice. I want to go for a long walk. I'm meeting a friend for brunch. We finally found a time that works. I want to have a really quiet day. Just recharge before the week starts again. All very natural weekend conversation phrases.
And these are phrases that come up every single week. Every Friday or Monday, someone is talking about the weekend. Now you have the language to join that conversation.
Exactly. Now our fifth topic, feelings and daily mood. This is a topic that might seem simple, but it's actually really important because in English, people often ask how you're feeling, and knowing how to answer naturally with more than just fine or good makes a big difference in how connected your conversations feel. Alex, how are you feeling today?
Today, I'm feeling pretty good actually. A little tired from the week, but overall in a positive mood. I had a productive morning, and that always helps my mood.
That's great. I know what you mean about productivity affecting your mood. When I feel like I've accomplished something, I feel so much better. Today, I'm feeling focused. A little bit of nervous energy because I have a busy afternoon ahead, but mostly good.
Nervous energy can actually be useful though. It keeps you sharp and alert.
That's true. It's when the nervous energy tips into anxious that it becomes less helpful. Do you ever have days where you just feel off? Like you can't quite explain it, but something feels heavy?
Definitely. Everyone has those days. Sometimes I wake up and I just feel a little flat. Not sad exactly, just not as energetic or motivated as usual.
And what do you do on those days?
I try not to fight it too much. I give myself a little grace. I still do what I need to do, but I'm a little easier on myself. And usually by the afternoon, I start to feel more normal.
That's really wise. Sometimes you just have to let yourself have a slow day without judging yourself for it.
Exactly. And I find that getting outside helps a lot. Even a short walk can shift my mood quite a bit.
Fresh air and movement. Such simple things, but they really do work. I also find that talking to someone helps on those low days. Even just a short call with a friend or family member can lift your spirits.
Connection is so important for mood. Feeling less alone always helps.
It does. And on the good days, what does a really good mood feel like for you?
On a really good day, I feel light, like energetic and optimistic. I get things done more easily. I'm more patient. I enjoy things more. It's like everything just flows.
I love that description. Everything just flows. That's exactly what a good day feels like. Okay, so feelings and mood phrases. I'm feeling pretty good today. A little tired from the week. I had a productive morning. Nervous energy can actually be useful. I wake up feeling a little flat. I give myself a little grace. Getting outside helps a lot. Even a short walk can shift my mood. Talking to someone helps on those low days. On a really good day, I feel light. Everything just flows. These phrases help you express how you feel in a real, natural way. Not just fine or okay, but actually describing your inner experience.
And people really appreciate when you give a genuine answer to, "How are you?" It makes conversations feel more real and meaningful.
Absolutely. Now let's move to our sixth topic, simple errands and daily tasks. These are the small things that fill up our days. Grocery shopping, going to the pharmacy, paying bills, doing laundry, the everyday stuff that isn't very exciting but is part of real life. And being able to talk about these things naturally is really useful. Alex, what everyday tasks do you find yourself doing most often?
Grocery shopping is definitely the one I do most often. I go to the grocery store at least twice a week. Once during the week for fresh things like vegetables and bread, and once over the weekend for the bigger shop.
Twice a week is pretty common. I try to do one big shop on the weekend and then maybe a small top-up during the week if I run out of something.
And I always try to make a list before I go. Otherwise, I forget something or I end up buying things I don't need.
The shopping list is essential. I do everything on my phone now. I have a notes app where I add things throughout the week whenever I notice I'm running low on something. And then by the time the weekend comes, my list is already ready.
That's a really good system. I should do that more consistently. I still sometimes just try to remember and then wonder why I forgot eggs again.
Always eggs, the most forgotten item. What other errands do you do regularly?
The pharmacy sometimes, picking up prescriptions or just getting things like painkillers or vitamins. And occasionally the bank, though I try to do most banking things online now.
Yes, online banking has made so much easier. I hardly go to the bank in person anymore. Most things I can do on my phone, but there are still moments when you have to go in person for something specific.
And laundry is a regular task. I try to do laundry on weekends so I have clean clothes for the week. I find if I let it pile up too long, it becomes a much bigger job.
I do the same. Sunday laundry is a thing in our house. I put on a load in the morning while I'm doing other things, and by the afternoon, it's done, and I can fold it while I watch something.
Multitasking, the secret to getting things done.
Exactly. And cooking, which connects back to what we talked about earlier, cooking is one of those daily tasks that can feel like a chore or like something you enjoy, depending on the day.
So true. Some evenings I really enjoy it, and other evenings it feels like just another thing on the list.
And on those other evenings, it's fine to keep it simple. Eggs and toast have saved many busy weeknight dinners in my house.
Same here. There's no shame in a simple dinner. The shame would be going hungry because you were too tired to make something elaborate.
Well said. Okay, everyday task phrases. I go to the grocery store at least twice a week. I always try to make a list before I go. I add things throughout the week whenever I notice I'm running low. The most forgotten item. I try to do most banking things online now. I find if I let it pile up, it becomes a much bigger job. Sunday laundry is a thing in our house. Multitasking is the secret to getting things done. Some evenings I really enjoy it, and other evenings it feels like just another thing on the list. There's no shame in a simple dinner. All very natural, relatable, everyday phrases.
And I think these everyday topics are some of the most useful for real conversations, because this is what people actually talk about, not big abstract things, the small daily things that make up a life.
Exactly. Real conversation is mostly about the ordinary. The morning coffee, the workday, the grocery run, the weekend plan, the tired evening at home. And when you can talk about those ordinary things naturally in English, you are speaking English in a real and meaningful way. You're not just using textbook sentences, you're sharing your life. And that's what language is for. So wherever you are right now, I hope this listening session has felt relaxing and useful. Your ear has been absorbing natural English, words, phrases, rhythms, and patterns. And even if you didn't catch everything, your brain was listening and learning the whole time. That's how listening practice works. You don't need to understand every word. You just need to keep listening. And every time you do, English gets a little more familiar, a little easier, a little more natural.
And if you want to practice more, go back and listen again. The second time you'll catch more, the third time even more. That's the beauty of listening practice. Every listen builds on the last one.
Yes, and try to make listening to English a regular part of your day. Even just 15 or 20 minutes while you're doing something else, while you're making coffee, while you're walking, while you're cooking. Let English be in your ears every day. And over time, the improvement will come, naturally, steadily, and surely. Thank you so much for spending this time with us at Clearly English. If you enjoyed this listening practice session, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a new lesson. And we would love to hear from you in the comments. Tell us which conversation topic from today was most helpful or most relatable for you. Was it the morning routine, the food, the weekend plans, the feelings? Let us know. We read every comment and we love hearing from our community. Remember, listening every day builds understanding. Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep speaking. We will see you next time.
See you next time.